Yo, 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 my G's. This is going to be the shortest video ever, unedited, because I've been so busy today. I haven't had time to make a proper YouTube video. But I wanted to carry on with my one video per day promise. So I'm going to crack on anyway, even if it's a bit short. And yeah. Today we are doing enhancing the drum groove and impact, okay, with 5 different techniques. So I've come up with 5 different ways to put a bit of extra spice into your drum group. And the first thing, we're just going to focus on a 2-bar loop. The first part is we're going to put an intentional gap at the end of the loop. So here I've got a little beat that sounds like this. So let's put an intentional gap at the end. I've got this sort of ride background layer and a little hi-hat here that are going to go. We're going to delete both of those, and now we've got a little gap. Okay, so we've got a chance to add something else in, and also it's creating a bit of variation. To also taking stuff away sometimes can provide just that bit of variation that you need. It's not always about adding stuff every time. So anyway, the next sound to add in then is an open hi-hat. I love using these, and they sound especially great when you use them just before one of the main elements, like just before a kick or just before a snare. Here I'm going to use it just before a kick, and what I've done is I've just got a cool open hi-hat sample. I've shaped the transient a little bit myself using the transient shaper, taking down the sustain, and I've just taken out the low end and put it quite low in the mix. It sounds like this on its own. Okay, it's nice and tightly chopped off just before the kick, as you'll hear. So the idea, the thing that makes it cool is when you like quickly cut it off and something else comes straight afterwards. That's why I like to use the open, or how I like to use the open hi-hats, I should say. Next up, we've got a ghost snare. And how do you make a ghost snare? Well, you take your main snare and you turn it down. That's the quickest way to do it if you're feeling lazy like I am today. So my main snare, which is somewhere in the project, around, I don't know, somewhere down there. This is the ghost version. I've just taken the same snare, I've shortened it a little bit, turned it down like 7 dB. But the idea is we're going to use it on a weird place in the track. So here I've chosen like a little offbeat part between the end of a kick and the beginning of the... I don't actually know what it's sitting. It's sitting on a hat. It's sort of just after a kick and just before a snare, essentially. But yeah, it's giving a bit of a jump, like a bit of a weird little random jump to the groove, because it's a bit out of place, you know. Okay, so simple little ghost snare used in a nice, unusual spot. Next up, we have a little percussion loop, experimental percussion. So something that's not actually a drum beat, something random. And I found some sort of, I don't know if it's human noises, like or a horse, but it's this percussion loop which sounds like this. You can write a comment down below if you know what that is. I imagine it's a horse galloping on top of a mushroom planet. But the idea with this is I'm basically going to just not even flex it to the beat. It's just pretty random rhythm. It doesn't really sync up, but it kind of works if you listen by ear. So we've got a little part here where it goes a little weird, and then a little part here as well where it also just goes a bit random. Okay. So I like that. And last but not least, we're going to do a little reverse at the end where we made this gap. Now we're going to fill it in with a little reverse cymbal sound. And all I've done is I've taken my main hi-hat here, taken that end part of the loop, and essentially I've like made a version of it where I've reverbed it out a bit, bounced it out and reversed it. And this is the little sound that I've made. Simple, easy sound to make. Okay, just sort of reverb the hat, reversed it, and that's it. So now with that part as well, so there you have it. There's 5 different ways you can add a bit of extra spice and variation into your drum group. So if you guys enjoyed that, make sure you subscribe, leave a little comment down below what you think could be another way to add a bit of spice and variation to a drum groove. Anyway, we will crack on tomorrow. I'll have a bit more time to make a longer video tomorrow, and I'm going to do some transitional tips tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend. Peace out.